Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Ilsa, mama of 6, currently homeschooling my 3 younger children. And I know there's so many videos and pictures on social media that share these beautiful organized homeschool rooms, these rooms that are filled up with all these supplies and curriculums and just beautiful organized spaces. But I want to encourage you that if you do not have a homeschooling room, that is completely okay. You do not need a whole room to homeschool your children. If you have a room that you can dedicate to homeschooling, that is amazing. But for us, we do not have a room that we can dedicate just to homeschooling, so we do most of our homeschooling in our dining room, in our living room space. If the day is beautiful outside, we'll take it outside, in the yard, a playground, a coffee shop, wherever. You can homeschool your children wherever feels comfortable. It literally does not need to be a full room just dedicated to homeschooling. So I wanted to share where we homeschool our 3 boys in our home without a homeschooling room. So I'm gonna just share. This is just an area of our walk-in dining room, living room area, and it is where we have our main desk. So our boys do rotate in this desk throughout the day. My 13-year-old does have a desk in his bedroom, so if he needs just a little bit more quiet time or space, he'll go and do some work in there. We utilize the library a lot, so if you have a library near you in your neighborhood, take advantage. They're quiet during the school year. You'll definitely have space. Main desk. This is where the boys rotate, or I'll sit with one of them at a time if they need some help. So there's not much on it. I do keep my laptop on it, my planner. This is my morning basket where it has my reading books, my Bible, my devotionals, things like that. And I'll sit here early in the morning before the rest of the kids wake up, and I'll use that as my quiet time, my quiet space. This is where we put our Bible verses that we are trying to memorize, and we repeat them, and we keep it up there. This one has been up there for a few weeks now because I have not just taken down the board to wipe it down and start over, but I definitely want to get a new Bible verse up there. And this is our dining room area, which is off our living room space. This is where we do most of our work, and it works for our family. Like I said, you don't need a whole homeschooling room to homeschool. So this is where we keep all our curriculum, our books that we're reading. This is our dry erase board where we'll do morning announcements, morning things. And like I said, this is right in our dining room, and this board, once we're done with it, I remove it, and it's just our dining room space. And if you do not have a homeschooling room, but you purchase one of these carts, and they can be found in like Michael's, Walmart, Target, all the things, and they have wheels. You can literally wheel it around your house, whatever is easiest for you and your family to homeschool. If you can just purchase this cart, put all your curriculums, your art things in this cart, it can be accessible in any room. I love it. Best buy for my homeschool. And here I keep my 4-year-old's curriculum. We are part of a co-op. We do classical conversation, and we love the community, but we did fall in love with the good and the beautiful curriculum. So I did purchase that before we actually started the co-op with my 4-year-old, and he has his booster cards, he has his reading books that he is pretty much almost done with them and doing really well with the reading books. We have our alphabet that we go through, we do our sounds, and you don't need a fancy curriculum to make your own flashcards, your own CBC cards, your own daily cards, day of the week. You can literally just use index cards and then just buy these little hooks in the dollar store. You don't need to spend a ton of money, especially when you have little ones. You can find so many resources for free online, and I will link some of those below. Here we have his Bible. And here we have some workbooks that we were going through, and when we had first started, before I knew anything about curriculums, before I knew what we would be doing for curriculums and subjects and things like that, I had utilized the Target dollar spot and the dollar store and picked up a bunch of these little books that say 4+, 3 to 5 years old, and it has the alphabet in addition, and it works great. You don't have to spend a ton of money to get through And then here I'll put, while I'm getting other things ready or we're just taking a break. And I did make a video based off of what I keep in my car and how I organize my car. It has gotten a little bit messy since that video because the boys have access to it. So here I have math manipulatives, and I did just put all these in a glass jar. We have magnets with days of the week, numbers, first grade curriculum here, which I went ahead of myself when The Good and the Beautiful had a really big sale, and I just bought that. But we are not ready for that. We are not moving towards that until he is completely ready for that stage. My cart, and like I said, if you purchase yourself a cart, no matter where you're homeschooling and the space that you have, this works perfectly. And that is where most of our stuff is kept. Definitely not organized down here. I try my best, but my little ones have access to it, and these are the things that they're allowed to play with throughout the day because we try to do a minimal of screens. So here I have puzzles, and they're with the alphabet, their numbers. I mean, like I said, a lot of these were purchased at the dollar section. So here we have puzzles, board games that they love. Here is kinetic sand. If you have not purchased kinetic sand for your little ones, go get kinetic sand. Play-Doh is crazy messy and doesn't last long. Kinetic sand, and I put them in these bins that I had bought in Michael's, and they just play with them over and over and over, and they keep toys in there, and it's amazing. And then here is my younger son's morning basket. I made a video about this, how I keep him entertained while we're doing math. I have here with little manipulatives, colors. We're working on the color green, and we're working on the letter E. So we have tracing his name, all the things here. And these are just things that I've printed up for free online. If you are a homeschooling parent, you get to use Canva for free if you sign up. Here's a book with the letter E and then just the alphabet and some coloring books. So that never stays neat, but it is confined to a space in my home. I try not to make the entire home look like a classroom or a homeschooling area. These are just extra books. My older son's Action Bible, thesaurus, dictionary, copy paper. This is my older son's, my 4-year-old's, where he has coloring books, reading books, things that he can do on his own. This is independent play. This is when my younger one takes a nap. He keeps himself busy with that. And then here in this other side, it is a mess. But, you know, it's very hard to keep it organized, and I'm not going to fix it every single day. I mean, my boys are in here throughout the day because these are things that they're allowed to use. This is my printer, and my 13-year-old does use it, and, I mean, he's not great at organizing it back the way it was, but it's working. And then here we have construction paper, we have flashcards with the alphabet. Here we keep all the extra loose leaf, extra things that I print up. I keep just some of their work here, like things that I need to keep, like evaluations and stuff like that, because in New York State it is required to just keep some work, and if they ever ask, you have things like that. So I have a binder for my 13-year-old and a binder for my 4-year-old, and then the extra loose leaf and print ups, things like that. And here are, I also made a video about these. We use these when we went camping. They're great to store kids' activities. I have paints, I have journals, we have loose leaf, we have Ziploc bags for scavenger hunts, and all of this was really easy to put together, and I found most of these things at Walmart. And when you're working with limited space for your homeschool, you find ways and areas to keep everything tidy. This bin I also purchased from Michael's, and it just keeps all our flashcards in one space. And our cart that goes throughout our home and makes our lives so much easier stores all our curriculums, read alouds, devotions, Bibles, and keep it in this corner. And our dry erase board where we do all our work. And this is our homeschooling space. So my little ones are now up. I had to put on a devotional just so that they give me a few more minutes to finish up. And I hope that this video helped you feel encouraged. I hope that you know that you are capable to homeschool, whether you're homeschooling on your dining room table, you're homeschooling on your couch, in a playground, in the backyard. Just know that what works for you and your family is what matters most. You don't need a fancy space to homeschool your kids. And